Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Living Well with Purpose. I actually forgot to change my topic there at the bottom, but today what we're going to talk about, I was sick. I was a little under the weather. Wednesday, about around the evening time, I started, just not feeling so well. And then Thursday was like just really feeling under the weather. And it was funny because I was reflecting during the entire time. I was reflecting about on the topic that the Lord had placed in my heart to share for today's weekly show. And it was funny. It's almost like, and it's on the topic of gratitude, right? And it's funny. It's almost like the Lord had me experience like, hey, in that moment when you're not feeling so well, when you're feeling just like yucky, I was still working through all the things that I needed to get done. Um, but I also had to learn grace and mercy for myself. Like I had to learn grace and like I had to just in that moment just be like, I need to allow myself to rest because that is what's going to help me move forward so that, I'm not feeling this way. And, but it was almost like the Lord was placing this topic, gratitude. I kept thinking about it. I'm like, over and over again. And I had to like choose gratitude in that moment. I had to choose, gratitude over complaining. I had to choose joy over just like feeling yuck. I had to just choose gratitude, right? And so, anyway, that is what our topic is. It's in this week, and I'm going to give you 5 things that just 5 tips for being able to cultivate gratitude in your home, because the home is where we live. The home is where we are day after day, right? Whether we go to work or we work inside the home, that is where your family resides. Like that is where you are at. And how do we cultivate gratitude? And for starters, like why do we even want to think about gratitude? Gratitude is a word that we think about, especially around November as we're getting closer to Thanksgiving, right? And it's a very popular word. But what does it truly mean to be grateful, right? Okay, so gratefulness or gratitude is actually it's almost like a verb, in my opinion, where you have to do it. You have to do it to take its full advantage of what the word is. All right, and so anyway, I'm going to give you 5 tips. Okay, but let me give you this first. Giving this comes from 1 Thessalonians 5:18. So it says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of the Lord." Okay. So 1 Thessalonians 5:18. So we're going to think about that. My first tip is to begin your day with gratitude is to actually be intentional about your morning devotionals. So, like beginning your day with God's word so that you can have be in that space to be able to receive what He has for you. But you can start your day by thanking God for just one thing in your home, like just looking around and just like saying, wow, God, thank you for this bed. Thank you that I was able to sleep in this bed inside my home under a warm temperature, right? Just like beginning your day with that intentional um, thankfulness to God for what He has given you in your home. So it could be a cozy chair, it could be running water, it could be, the heat. Because goodness, when when it gets cold in our home, last night was cold. Like we would have been really, really sad had we not had that. So starting out, and something that our family starts out with is, and this is just something, you know, very practical, but for years now, we have four boys, and our oldest is going to be 15 years old. When he was learning to read, so he would have been pre-kindergarten, kindergarten. So let's just say 5 years old. I can't remember how old he was, but so pretty much for 10 years now, I believe. Something that our church introduced us to was our daily bread. And it's just a little devotional in there. And every day, you know, for that particular day. So this is today was November 21st. So we read this one, November 21st, and it's got a scripture and it's got like a little devotional in it, and then just a small little prayer. And what we did with all of our boys is as they were learning to read, we would have them read the devotional for the day. And so this would be something that we do in the morning at breakfast time. It became our meal that we like really enjoy our meal times together as a family. But as the boys started getting older, it became less and less and less. So at dinner time. So the morning meal was like huge because that's when we would do our morning. So that's part of the reason why we decided not to do the buses is because it would cut into our family morning devotional. Now, we're not perfect. We've had lots of inconsistencies, but for the most part, for the last 10 years, as each kid started reading, they would participate. So now Nehemiah, he's the last one. They learn to read big words, right? And we help them through this. But it's what it has done when you set aside in the morning, that's just a practical little tip that you can do with your family. But when you start out your day with gratefulness and thanksgiving, what it does to the brain is you're able to set your mind on something positive, something that brings you something that could be just ordinary, and it makes it extraordinary. Like all of a sudden you're just, oh, thank you. That's amazing, right? Because it's not top of mind. We kind of get susceptible to comfort, and gratefulness, that's what it does. So just setting that tone for your day, for your mind, is huge. So that's my number one tip. Second tip is very practical. Something that you do after breakfast time, if you sit down for breakfast, is tidying up the kitchen, right? Like, do you tidy up the kitchen after breakfast, or maybe after lunch or after dinner? Well, something that I learned from this is a great book, by the way, Atomic Habits. It talks about like when you're starting something like a new habit, when you're wanting to set a new habit, the best thing you could do is to do it right after something that you already do. So like if you're brushing your teeth, right? And you're trying to learn how to floss. Well, now you're already, brushing your teeth. So then it makes sense to right after, if you're trying, it reminds you like, oh, I need to floss next. So if you're trying to create that habit, that would be the perfect time to floss, right? Well, something that you can do is, because you're already tidying after breakfast, you're already cleaning up. Well, something that you can tag right afterwards, is while you're cleaning and while you're picking up things, everything that you touch, just spend 5 minutes and thanking God for that thing that you are touching. So let's say you're loading the dishes into the dishwasher. Lord, just thank you. Thank you for the dishes that you've given me. Thank you that I have running water. Thank you that that the dishwasher is working today. So just spending 5 minutes of being grateful for that thanking God for that thing that you're touching, whether you're unloading the dishwasher and you're putting your mugs away. Thank you for these mugs that you've given me, that I have plenty, that I have lots of mugs, that I can pick from any mug that I want, right? Oh my goodness. I'm like, oh, declutter. But anyway, but thanking God, for the things that you're touching and just spending 5 minutes to be able to thank God. What that's going to do is it's going to tell your mind that whatever mug, it's just an ordinary thing. But when you start beginning to say thank you for it, it's going to all of a sudden become extraordinary. And you become content with what you have because all of a sudden it's like a big deal. It's a big deal. Thank you for my working dishwasher. My goodness, when the dishwasher's not working, I'm like, oh, I gotta have this done, right? But so anyway, that's my tip number 2. Okay. So tip number 1 is starting out your day with just that gratefulness, being thankful for one thing, thanking God for one thing. Morning devotionals are great for that. Whether you do it alone or you do it with your family, whether you do it, with the daily word, to something that you get out of here, our daily bread. I like just doing that. And then number 2, spending 5 minutes as you're tidying up to thank God for those things that you're touching. All right. Number 3 is just here is whether you work from home or you work outside of the home, you can do this. You can incorporate this into your life. But I call it the midday pause. Okay. So at 10 o'clock, my husband and I both work from home. At 10 o'clock, I will go and get a snack. It's like my snack time. At 12 o'clock, that's like about lunchtime, right? So either one of those times, it's a midday pause where you're taking just a few minutes, just 5 minutes, to just walk around your home and to be grateful for something that you see, Just being grateful for that. And there's another verse, Psalms 24, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. So just being thankful for something that you see. And then in the evening, you can share those things with your family. What that's going to do is it's going to begin cultivating gratitude in the home. That's where you live. That's where you want peace. That's where you don't want it to be a place of strife and tension. You want it to be a place of peace and joy and um, just full of life, right? Right? Am I wrong on this? Like, what do you want to cultivate in your home? And so gratitude puts you in a position where you can now receive for what the Lord has for you next. If you don't work from home and you work outside the home, this is a huge challenge. But during your midday pause, go around your work, wherever you work, lunch break or whatever, and just start thanking God for something in that work and in that work environment. You might have a toxic environment, and that might be very hard to find something that you're grateful for. But let me tell you, there is always something, always something. And if we could put our minds on just looking for something to be grateful for, even in a toxic environment, let me tell you, the Lord begins to move mountains. And all of a sudden, your brain is no longer focused on what's toxic, but it becomes looking because it's going to start seeing something else. It's going to start picking out something else that you can be grateful for. And it won't be a lie because you're picking it out. You're starting to pick it out because your brain is now looking for that. And you're putting your brain to work. And it's creating a new pathway so that it will begin looking for that. And you will start seeing results. The Lord will start moving mountains and He will bless you with the next thing that He has in store for you because you've been in a place of gratitude and you've been putting your brain to work and just looking for something that's grateful. This is huge, you guys. This is huge. So if you don't know, for the past 10 years, I've been with a company that I have just loved. I've worked so much growing this company, and it's become very just a joy and successful, but a joy in my life because I have learned so much from it. And 2 years ago, um, a certificate. I went ahead and got certified as a mindset and life coach, and that's just something that I had to learn. That I had to put my mind to work to really look for the things that that I was grateful for, and it began moving mountains for me. And it is something that you really, 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 I encourage you to do. In fact, I'm going to give you a challenge at the end of this, but um, okay, so I'm almost done. I want to wrap this up. I got two more for you. And then in the evening is also doing some sort of, pause. You can call it another evening devotional, whatever, but just a pause, just allowing your preparing your heart and your body for rest. Matthew 11:28. I want to encourage you with this. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. And just as you prepare for bed, reflect on the peace that comes from a clean, decluttered. Just think about that. When you walk into your home space and you've got stuff laying on the counter, stuff, toys all over the floor, right? Laundry is completely filled to the top. Things that you need to fold, things that you need to put away, your kitchen cabinets are not organized. Like when you walk into your home, like it creates chaos, and it creates tension for you, and you're no longer able to be in a space where you can be creative. And so think about in the evening, like as you're preparing to go to bed, like think about that peace that just would come from a clean, decluttered home. What would that feel like to you? What would that mean to you? Think about that. And think about, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. All right, so then the last one is everybody has a cleaning routine, right? Um, for us, it's on Fridays after the boys get out of school, or on Friday mornings, during the summertime. But it's always Fridays because the weekend we either have people over, family comes over, or we're in sports and we just don't have time in the weekends, right? Um, yeah, and then Sunday you're prepping for the week, and it's not the time. So Fridays for us just became the day. We've been doing this for a few years now. And when you're doing your cleaning routine, whatever that may be, just pick one room. And my challenge to you is to set a timer for either 5 minutes, 20 minutes max. Don't go too crazy. Start out with 5 minutes and just declutter with intention. Start thanking God for the things that you want to keep, for the things that you want to donate, and for the things that it's time to let go. You're just going to discard them, and thank God for each of those. Okay. That's how you declutter. Those are you think when you're decluttering, when you're looking at a room, just be like, what do I want to keep? What do I want to donate? What do I want to um, what time to get rid of? And the questions that you can ask for yourself when you're thinking about that, because you're like, I don't know, I just want to keep everything. Like everything is useful. The questions you should ask for yourself is like, when was the last time I used it? Have I used it in the last year? How many times have I used it in the year? Those are things that you should ask, right? Is it old? Has it expired? Those are really cool questions that you need to think about, right? So I have a guide for that too. If you need that, if you're like, how in the world do you declutter? Truly, I have a guide for that. So if you need it, just put guide in the comments, and I drop guide in the comments. I'll make sure to get that to you because it's huge. Okay. So anyway, that's your 5-minute gratitude. When you're taking 5 minutes just at the end of the day, or whenever you do your cleaning routine, right? Just take 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and set your timer, and decide, you're gonna declutter intentionally for 5 minutes. All right, don't go any more than that. You'll go crazy. let me tell you. But just set 5 minutes. You're going to declutter intentionally, and you're going to say, what am I going to keep? What am I going to donate? What am I going to toss? And thank God for each of those items that you are either going to keep. Like, God, thank you for giving me this and that I'm going to keep it. God, thank you for giving me these things that I can donate. God, thank you for giving me XYZ that, for the time that I had it, and it's expired and it's time to get rid of it. Like, really having that 5 minute of like intentional gratitude while you are decluttering. Okay. All right. Those are my 5 tips. If you are just hopping on and you didn't catch it, just I'm always on YouTube. And in fact, this is live streaming on multiple places. So hit me on YouTube. I think it's Evelyn C. Tribble is my channel, Evelyn Tribble, something like that. But just subscribe to my link. And every week I've been doing episodes. So this just happens to be on gratitude, and it's a good one. So let me close us in prayer. So if you're following me and this has been awesome, let me just close us in prayer. Lord, I just want to thank you for the blessing of a home and for the spaces where we live, we laugh, and we love. Help us, Lord, to honor you by caring for the spaces that you've given us and just filling them with gratitude. And Lord, I just pray that our home would reflect your peace and your goodness. Amen. Okay. All right. I have a bonus challenge for you. And this week, as we are preparing for Thanksgiving, I want you to just write down 3 things that you're grateful for in your home. And just 3 things each day for 3 days. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for, and just share them with your family, because all of that is going to cultivate gratitude in your home. I have a gratefulness journal, I called it, and I did it for a whole year straight. And at first it was hard for me to learn to write down things, but my brain began to work and it started looking for things that I was grateful for. I feel like, negative in my life, and I thought, oh my goodness, I need to pop out of this. And it was right after COVID and not being around people and things, and it was just a low place in my life. But that really helped me just to get back into my brain looking for things that I was grateful for. All right, so if you have enjoyed this episode, I do have a guide that I created for you. I have a few more guides. I feel like every week I'm creating a new one, but these are 10 simple swaps for a healthier home. It's a checklist. I have that if you want it. Yeah, it's, from cleaning products to kitchen and food, storage to personal care and environment. Just, lots of helpful tips there for how you can swap things out and how to get those tools. But if you've enjoyed this episode, let's take it further. I would love to host an exclusive event for you and your friends, just, to learn how to create a toxic-free environment where you can cultivate peace and gratitude, and you can walk into your home and just we're going to focus on gratitude-filled spaces this year, like that 2025. That's what we're going to focus on, building a gratitude-filled space in your home. And as a thank you, of course, I will help you earn those tools to transform your home for free. So message me to learn more, or drop toxic free home in the comments below, and I'll get you some more information. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I'll see you on Black Friday. Bye.